What's going on, family? It's your boy Deonte LaMar, and I'm back with another video. Make sure y'all come on in, tap the like as you come on in, and we are back to discuss an important topic tonight. Now, a lot of us has been in relationships where individual has overstayed their welcome. They have
Mm,
overstayed their welcome. I am here
indeed.
tonight with fellow content creator, friend, family, kid, the goddess. What's going on?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? If y'all not familiar with me, I am Kid the Goddess, and I like to do a lot of random rants. We'll call them random rants about what's going on in this here society. Now, the topic today is very near and dear to my heart because I have recently had to explain this to my adult children about staying too long in situations when, as the old folks say and stuff, when the horse is dead, just let it die. Quit trying to walk into the water. It ain't thirsty. It's done. So yeah. Personally, to speak on my own situation for y'all that don't know me, go back. You can check my channel. I got a few videos. Um, so bottom line, my story is this. I thought I met my person young, and by young I'm talking early 20s. Um, we reproduced. We attempted to maintain the homestead life and do our thing. But I found out that there was a mistress within our relationship for pretty much the entire relationship. Her name was Miss Alki Hall. Yes, yes. Miss Brewski was taking over my relationship, and I didn't even invite her. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had weird thoughts, but I never thought that liquor was going to be my third person in the relationship. Um, I endured mental abuse. Didn't even know I was dealing with a narcissist because, let's be honest, I met this fool back in the early 2000s. That was not terminology that we bandied around between people. So, with that being said, um, it was a little harder to identify these. But, oh yeah, Gaslighter Supreme. Um, quite recently, I have experienced something that I don't know if the world has ever experienced. I was asked a question via argument. I didn't know what that was called. I had to go Google it. There is no definition for argue ask question. Let me explain that. You get a call from somebody who's already arguing, but they're trying to ask you to do something, or they're asking you for something, but they're arguing with you. Have you ever had that happen? Is that something you've had happen before?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm trying to listen to you. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, so you said you was in this long-term relationship and there was a mistress involved, which was alcohol. You met
Alcohol, yes, yeah.
alcohol.
Oh, she got us ugly. She got an ugly, ugly twin. Infidelity. You may have heard of them. They a
Mhm.
tag team duo. One comes into the picture, and the other one shows up, and oh, and amnesia. That's they drunk cousin that comes in the morning. She cleans up.
Wow. Now,
Alcohol, infidelity, and amnesia.
now walk me through this. Walk me through this now. Like, how long did this situation go on before you just got tired of it? Like, how long did you endure all this before you said, you know what? Enough is enough. You know, overstayed your welcome, pack your shit, get the fuck out. Don't talk to me ever again.
Well, if I'm being honest, I attempted this break several times. The first coming early on, when I first noticed the chat line phone numbers and whatnot, and I tried to have the conversation with them.
Wait a minute. So
And
this individual was on chat lines?
yeah, back in the day where all you could do was get on the phone and call because, well, I think it was called Lava Life or something like that. The tramps used to come on like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, like, hi, do you need a date?
I
Yeah,
am.
them chicks.
You know what? I was notorious for chat lines through my breakup periods, through my lonely periods when I was looking for a replacement or looking for a rebound or looking for a body. I was notorious for chat lines. But go ahead.
Well, now see, here's the beauty of that. Back then, I had landlines. and baby monitors. So one of my landlines happened to be a cord.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he thinks he's hiding in the bathroom on the cordless in the chat line, and here I am in the room changing his daughter, and over the baby monitor, I hear, "Yeah, your picture look like your titties." Yeah. And I'm like walking around my house trying to figure out who is this? And he's in the bathroom. He's got the door locked, and as I knock on the door, I can hear it through the monitor. So
Slipping.
now I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm gonna be all the way 100 with you. I am a freaking fool. So what did I do? I went in my room, shut the door, I locked my door, and proceeded to listen and yes, record everything that I heard come out the monitor. Just so when he sat there and swore up and down later that he didn't do it, clearly you're lying. Clearly this is you.
You know what? What I
But
can't stand is that that's a narcissist. You can have a
you're
person like
right.
that dead to rights, and they will still
Find a way to blame you.
find a way to blame you or find a way to lie or try to finagle their way out of it or make you seem like you didn't hear what you heard, make it seem like you didn't see what you saw. Narcissistic, no accountability,
At
no
all.
nothing.
At all. It's so funny you said that because quite recently today, I had to go. So for those of us who've been following me on my channel, y'all know that I'm dealing with the medical system and ageism concerning my mother. So today I had to go take care of a couple of things for my mom. At which point, uh, and a dumbass said, "Hey, can I ride with you?" And I said, "You know what? You've been trying to talk to me for the last couple of weeks. I got time today. I'm gonna let you ride with me." Upon him entering my vehicle, yeah, it immediately smelled like I spilled 20 bottles of liquor.
Wow.
Uh, I'll put it just to give you some kind of accuracy of timing. So the pickup that I had for my mother was between 10 and 11 this morning.
Mhm.
And just the record, I picked that person up before I went to go pick up the stuff for my mom. So that means that you were either up early drinking or you've been drinking since last night.
So wait a minute. So walk me back. You said you picked this individual up when?
Today,
This
today,
was today?
Saturday. This was today. This was today. This is all fresh today.
Okay.
Current real time.
Okay.
So pick this person up. I let this person ride to go handle this errand with me. Um, when I tell you 12 personalities was in that car, I had mine and he brought 11 with him. I
Yep.
watched five different stages: acceptance, grief, anger, deflection. I think he created some new ones. And keep in mind, this was 40 minutes. In 40 minutes, I dealt with. I should have. I wish I could have recorded just to give you guys some insight of what I'm talking about, but just to show you how backwards this works. I was called, begged, and I picked this person up just for this person to get in the car and spaz out, get angry because now they want to keep hanging. Now they want to go to my house. Now they don't understand why I don't want to talk to them. Well, now I don't have much to say. I got you in the car. I said, "Now what's up? You've been trying to catch up with me for 2 weeks. Talk."
Right.
Well, you act like you busy, but you don't have time. And see, and this is something I learned late. Like I said, from the beginning, I thought I met my person young.
Yeah.
Upon realizing that this was never going to get any better. And like I said, now my kid is grown. All our kids are grown. With that being said, uh, how can I put it? It took me a minute to realize this man's not going to change. But what really opened my eyes was seeing this man through his daughter's eyes. Like me and my daughter right now have the worst relationship. We cannot even communicate without arguing. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Um, but the reason for that, and I wish it was a way I could show my text messages, but the reason for that is simple. She has an attitude because she feels the hurt and the abandonment of her father.
You have
But
a
the
comment.
blame comes
You got a
to
comment on the
me
screen.
because
You got a
I
comment on the
kept
screen.
him in her life.
Yeah, you got a comment on the screen.
Um,
It says, okay,
I
so what
can't see
happened in
it
the
from
car?
here.
It says, okay, so what happened in the car? What? Yeah, I want to know what happened in the car.
Oh, the drug man. This, I don't know. Are you're not biblical here, right? So I can say what I want to say.
Go ahead.
Uh, so this bitch gets in the car, right?
Uh-huh.
After I kind of say, hey man, roll the window down. It's too early for all that liquor. This mug gets mad. Oh, well, how you gonna blame me? How you gonna do this and this, that, and the third, and well, you now listen. I want y'all to hear this, okay? Because, like I said, I did not know what a narcissist was.
Right.
You're in my car. You wanted me to come pick you up to
Hmm.
do a ride with me, so you could talk. But instead of talking, you get in my car with your drunk ass and proceed to yell and want to blame me because not only are you drunk, I don't want to be bothered. I like I said, I already gave the problem. All right, bro. I see picking you up was a bad idea, but
Yeah.
I gotta go take care of my business. So I'm gonna eat this one because I know I can do this and drop you back off. And why did it take me 12 minutes to get? And I'm talking real time, 12 minutes, people, to get this man out of my car because he wanted to argue. He couldn't understand why I no longer want him at my house. He can't understand why I no longer want him around my life because of what I'm dealing with right now. It's barely 10 something in the morning. You are pissy drunk. You are loud as hell. You smell like three winos wrapped up in old hot dog water buns. I have no way whatsoever to. I can't. I can't. I can't do the babbling. I can't do the communication. I can't do the. I can't. So after I got my groceries, I expeditiously drove my car back to where I picked this piece of trash up by a dumpster at his mama house.
Right.
Okay, I got other stuff to do. Please get out of my vehicle. Well, I want
Hmm.
to see my daughter. Now here's my problem, and
How
this
old
is
is your
why I
daughter?
said gas.
How old is
My
your daughter?
oddly enough, my daughter is the same age I was when I met him. 23.
23. Okay.
23.
Okay. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. So at this point, if you want to see your child, yeah, she
Uh-huh.
lives in my house now for now. But if you want to see your child, guess what you can do? Pick up the phone,
Um,
make them calls, and say, "Hey, daughter, where you at? What are you doing? This is father. I want to hang out with you." But what you're not gonna do is be posted up in my shit. Because
right.
one thing, I got a question. I got a question. I got a question.
Right.
Now you are a man. Now let's just say, somewhere in your mind you decided I want my ex back. If
Hmm.
you decide that, aren't you going to start doing the things that would make you, you know, make you more delicious in her eyes? Like you're going to start to do the right things. You want to maybe actually hear some of the stuff that she had been telling you. Hey, if we were taking care of this, maybe our situation would have been better. Would you
Yeah.
at least give it that a shot?
So that's what I would do. So number one, if I wanted my ex back, right, and
Hmm.
if she left me, um, because I wasn't the man that she wanted me to be at that time, right, and said,
Right,
okay, I give you a little time to focus on yourself and get yourself together, right. What
right.
I'm gonna do is give her that much respect to give myself that much respect to go and do that. I'm gonna go and make those changes. I'm gonna lock in on myself for the next 3 to 6 months and really focus on getting myself in shape, getting my mindset in order, getting my money stacked up, and
Talk
getting my
your shit,
relationship,
talk your shit.
getting
Come
my
on, talk your
relationship,
shit.
getting my relationship better with God, getting rid of all the old habits, all the nasty habits that put me in this position to where I wasn't myself, or the whatever it was that put me in a position to not be that man that she was expecting me to be, and the man that I needed to be for her, my family, or whatever it was, whatever the dynamic of our relationship was, whatever it was that was hindering our relationship from progressing and moving forward. I would get to myself and make those changes. One, for me first, not for her.
There you go. There
For
you
me,
go.
you know.
So listen, y'all. I'm an old school fool. Okay. I don't know. Give me what y'all about to see, because I am not a tall person, but I am a coffee drinker. So I ain't gonna hold y'all. Welcome to my kid that got his kitchen. I gotta make coffee. But while doing so, I'm gonna say this to y'all. That's with that being said, one thing that I noticed is if you seriously decide that you want to deal with a person or whatever, understand real communication has to happen, people. Understand that hard conversations have to happen. Okay? Like, you can't, first off, it's not fair to BS your way. Just because you BS in your life is absolutely unfair to do it to another person, because you don't realize these people come to you because they really care about you, or they want to get to know you and they want to build with you. They want to grow with you. You know what I mean? They don't want a project. They don't want to build a bitch. They don't want to build a nigga. They don't want to build nothing. They want to build with you. They don't want to have to restore you and, reconfirm you and recommit you. Just, I'm sorry, Fresh Prince said it best. I don't want to have to shoot you every 6 months to keep you in love with me. You know what I mean? So with that, I'll say that to say this: know who you are and be cool in who you are. This man, instead of talking to me about, which is weird because there is no future. I can't go backwards to something that didn't work. And the more I put into you, the more you showed me that it was not receptive. It was not received well. And I'm sorry. You guys, I got a little bit of a special guest. You've seen this guy before and stuff. Sorry, come on. He ain't gonna go away till I bring him on. So hi everybody. This is my monster too. Live and indirect.
Ah,
Say hi.
hi.
Okay, now go ahead. Lay down. Yeah. Summer vacation here in Ohio. As you see, the kids are definitely up. Yeah, that's my grandson. He is wide awake at almost 2 a.m. Why? Why? Because he has nothing else going on, or just because he's woke like hell? Okay, we're not doing the creepy dog. Good night, I said. Oh, Lord. So, yes, people. I'm sorry. That was on me, y'all. So, with all this said, I say this to you people now. Okay? Relationships are tough. They require a level of work. And when you choose these relationships, making sure that you are with somebody that you can work with. Like they tell you when you start getting out there to get these jobs, get into something that feels good, that makes you feel good, that makes you excited and proud to get up and be a part of it. Don't stay in these relationships like I made that mistake. I am now older, okay? I can honestly say this. Dating in 2025, bruh. Yeah, I think I'd like to be one of the 100s to go out here and punch on this gorilla for a while than trying to actually date in 2025.
Let me ask you this: when was the last time? Now, before we get into that conversation,
Okay.
so how long was you in this relationship with this individual?
Uh, Here's the funniest answer to that question. Um, so what I've been told is in long-term relationships, when it ends, you've been breaking up with this person pretty much the half amount of time y'all been together. So from I would say, um, shit, I physically stopped seeing him recently in December, but that was the relationship I haven't. When I say physically, I mean hanging out, being around him. He still keeps calling my phone and wanting to find reasons to talk to me or say things or do things. Come see me. And with my mother being in the hospital, you know, I've tried to give grace because my mother's even asked about him. You know, oh, I'd like to see him. You know, how's he doing? Type things. Just because me and him don't speak, or I try to limit my interaction with him. I do not. I don't. I try. Shit. This is May.
You didn't answer my question. How
I
long
know.
were y'all in the
As
fucking relationship? Like,
too
how long?
goddamn long. Technically, I haven't seen the boy since December. I haven't physically touched him since um I don't know, maybe July of 2024.
Yeah, so from July
But
2024, go back
not no. Yeah, mm, from
24 years.
99.
20. Oh, okay, so
Yeah,
25 years.
from 1999 to, I guess you could say, 2024. Because that's when I really just, no, 2023 actually. Because that's when I really just stopped physically being there for him, all of that. Like, I mean, we still spoke and dealt with each other. Like I said, I am the mother of his only child. So
Right.
I do still, but that relationship is trash. So
Yeah.
I don't even want a part of that. You know, she hates the man and she blames me because he spent more time trying to chase me than father her, be her
Yeah.
parent.
Right.
And that she has the right to feel the way that she does. That's
Yeah.
what I was saying earlier about, you know, it wasn't until I seen that shit through my kids' eyes and started like, damn, okay, well, why are you so upset at me for making a choice as a woman that and I didn't, you know, fuck, I was young. I had no knowledge that it was going to turn out as horrifically bad as it did.
What made
But
what elements of the what elements made it bad? Was it just the alcohol? Was it the infidelity? What else made it that bad? And why would
what
you?
made it,
What did what you stand? What you stand for 24 years? When people tell me they had a horrible relationship, right? I know somebody else that
and
keep
they
on
stayed,
that tell me that, oh, my husband ain't shit. My husband a piece of shit. And I'm looking at this girl like, so why the fuck are you still there? If it's that bad, why the fuck did
ah,
you stay?
because the one thing that we hold on to, that we keep until we just can't hold on to it no longer, is that faith, that hope.
Would you say
You know what I'm
potential?
saying? We could, yes, you could even use the term potential as stuff
Okay.
because, okay, let's go here. I'll say it this way. We'll do apples and oranges. So when I met this dumbass, um, I'm gonna call him a little, you know, he was a little green, a little young, a little naive kind of guy, but he had a good earning potential. And given the type of job he had, or well, at the type of job I had, I actually seen a great, like we could have been great together. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Okay, now comparison. My son's father, who came after, who also totally opposite of my daughter's dad, because like I said, my daughter's father did some bullshit. We parted ways. We were separated for about 2 years, and in the midst of that, yeah, I'm gonna go out here and because you know I'm living my life. I just got my little degree and everything. I was on spring break. I had a pocket full of money. Yeah, I'm going to have me a good time. If so facto, met my son's father. He was completely opposite of everything I had dealt with. He was a breath of fresh air, and yeah, it was honestly magical. It was dead ass magical. That's the only time in my life I'll ever use that phrase. Um, what ended up happening is realizing I met the representative. So
The
yeah,
representative for who? Because I'm
for
confused
my
now.
son,
Your
yeah,
son's
for my
father.
son's father, yeah, I met his representative. So the person that I met was not the person that ended up being who he was. This man was a scammer, a liar,
Hmm.
and inevitably he turned into a convict,
Okay.
which uh, prevented him from being in my son's life for at least the first 12, 13 years of his life. So that created another arc of a problem in my life because now I have another child and his father's unavailable. And don't get me wrong, I never backed down from the single parent. Honestly, I couldn't. Like,
Okay.
and I wouldn't trade it up. So with that being said, I was fully prepared to raise my kids on my own.
Okay. So go back to
I
the. So let's go back to the other guy. So we know this guy, that the other guy, a piece of shit that you met on the rebound, right? He a piece of shit. Cool. So where does the other guy re-enter? The guy you've been with for 24 years. How does he re-enter after all that?
so after okay, so after my son was born, I was
Hmm.
taking my daughter to the store and we encountered him and his father and brother at the store. They were having a little picnic at one point, which his dad asked could his granddaughter attend. And I thought it would be a good idea so I took her around there. I sat for about a half an hour. I called my mom and dad. Hey, can you watch my son real quick? I got Amanda. My mom was very happy because she loved the baby. So, I took her around there. I sat in the car while went around. She dealt with her father, her grandfather, her uncle, a couple other family members. Um, Literally for all of about 40 minutes. These
Okay.
people were drunk. They were drunk, whatever. He brought her back to the car and stuff. I said, okay, call me later. Maybe we'll work something out where you can get her next weekend. Which is when he informed me that he basically was staying at his sister's house, and now you're homeless, you ain't got nowhere to live, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, oh well, call me. You know what I'm saying? And so, well, where are you? Can I just come down and visit her? So for some reason and stuff, that day he's at his family's function. I leave with my daughter in my car and go back to my mother's house. And I shit you not, a half an hour later, who's knocking on my mama door?
The devil.
Yeah, pretty much the demon himself. And my dad actually answered the door and stuff because my dad had just had a stroke, so my dad was post rehab, so his walker was a little slow. I was in the back with the baby. We heard the knock on the door, but I didn't assume it to be him.
Yeah. So
And
after
yeah,
all this, how did he eventually get back in your life? Like how? I understand a family function. Everybody's having a good time. The reunion's good. Kids is
he
with
so
the grandparents.
flash forward.
Mhm.
Like I said, my son's father had got into some trouble. Which don't get me wrong, at that point, me and him was not really dealing with one another. He had already got caught up in some other stuff that had kind of set me off. But my son was already here, so I'm gonna handle my business as a mom. Um, Me and the demon sat down because at this point now he knows I have another child and this, that, and the third. So
Yeah.
so he came. He was sitting there and we had this conversation. And he lied. That's all it was. He presented himself as a changed person, and he was for maybe about 2 months.
Hmm.
He was, indelibly changed. I'll give him that.
Yeah. So let me ask you
Um,
this. With that being said, right there, hold on to that thought. Did he change because of you, or did he change for himself?
if I'm being all the way honest, I think he changed because of the situation, and he tried to make himself more endearing. That he was somebody that he could not sustain. He presented himself as this better, more healed, more rounded version of himself. And at the end of the day, his true color, he couldn't sustain it. His
Okay.
true
So let
color
me ask you
started
this.
to emerge.
Let me ask you this. What about yourself changed in that time that y'all was apart?
Well, within that time, I had literally gone back to school. I was trying to go get my MA. Um, the
Relationship
way I had.
wise. Relationship wise. What
Oh,
about, yeah, we're like mindset wise,
if I'm
relationship
being
wise?
the mindset became, and I'm not gonna even lie about it. The mindset became, I got to take care of my babies
Yeah.
at any and every cost. So because at this point, the men had already in my life had I heard their, my daughter's dad, my son's father, they had already proved to me that they're
Hmm.
not going to be there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So any anything that needed to be done or taken care of and stuff, I knew I had only me to look to.
Right.
I had only me in my corner. And instead of letting that tank me and, oh, I'm so bitterly crushed that these men ain't doing right. I'm gonna be out in the club every weekend, blah da 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 da. Nah, I worked harder. I work basically during the day I'm in school and at night I'm at work. I
Right.
took my kids to work with me if I had to and stuff when I couldn't afford babysitting and stuff. I did, yeah, no, I walked like literally two or three neighborhoods just to be able to get to work on time and this, that, and the third. We had a staph infection at one of the homes I was in. I ended up having to be at work for literally 61 hours straight and stuff, paid, of course. But, you know, only pay. And I mean, this was so many years ago before COVID was even a thought thing or whatever. Just
Yeah.
the fact that, I actually had to have family members bring my kids up to the nursing home just
Hmm.
so I could see them through the window and holler through the window to talk to them because we were until we all finished testing, we couldn't leave. We were, they didn't want us to take nothing back to our families and nothing like that. So
Hmm.
we literally were stuck in a facility for over 60 some hours
Wow.
and stuff. So one of the some of the things that I started really piecing together as you in relationships and you start having like family tragedies and stuff on both sides of the line, you can see what a person's made of. Um, the signs were there. The signs were there. I will always take accountability to myself for not seeing them, and the ones that I did see, I ignored
Yeah.
because again, I held out that hope. I wanted something that I didn't get successfully growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad had his own crib. My mother, we lived with my mom. Like it was like little shit like that. And it used to just bother me. I'm still here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What happened?
Another no, that's my son. That's another relationship we should unpack. Parents and adult kids.
Yeah.
But with that being said, like I said, I seen the signs, man. I did, and I held out hope. As a daughter, you want you want that relationship with your father, and I wanted that for my daughter. I wanted, that's her only child. You know what I'm saying? She has his name. I wanted her to be, I wanted her to be the apple of his eye.
Right.
But she lost and I lost. We could not. You can't compete with alcohol. You can't compete with like this man said something to me today.
What
But
did he say?
as
What did he say?
I'm about to say that you're a man. So here, this man got mad at me because he realizes he has nothing to offer women. His statement was, and I quote, direct quote, yeah, because, once I give them what they want, then they get mad because I ain't got nothing else for them.
What do
I
they? What
end
do? What
quote.
do? What do he think that women want?
I here we go. I asked. I said, so what is it? And please forget the next phrases to come out. I said, what? After you fuck them, what they realize, you live with your mama, you don't have a job, you donate every 3 days just for a couple of dollars, and when you get it, you drink that shit up. You smell like hot garbage. You know what I'm saying? And then instead of taking accountability for the situation and how you landed here, you rather keep still blame the motherfuckers that you rather blame everybody else up to and including me, your daughter, my son. You see what I'm saying? Like we ain't even around you,
So
but
let me
we're
ask
your
you this.
problem.
Let me ask you this. So throughout this 24 years, did you ever try to help him get uh
Mm,
from drinking?
please,
What did you do to
straight.
wait a minute? What did you do to pour into him? Did you pray with him? Did you talk at him or talk to him? Like
I
what was the
talked
dynamic of that?
with him. So I talked with him. We sat down. We wrote out a real action plan. If you
Okay,
felt yourself wanting to drink, what do what do you think would stop you? Okay,
okay,
I'm not even gonna hold you. The first thing on there and stuff. Oh, I probably would just need to call somebody. So we had a list. The three people that he would call if he felt like he needed to drink. The
right.
downside is the three people he would call were graduated alcoholics. His mother, his brother, his sister.
So
So
he basically has a family full of alcoholics.
pretty much
Damn.
alcoholics and abuse, yes. And again, not knowing this in the beginning is what kind of threw me.
Yeah, but what red
It
flags
threw
did you
me.
see? Because we all see red flags at the beginning. We all see something.
Hmm.
We all see
I
signs.
didn't see the red flags until after my daughter was born. And with that, the red flags were uh hey, Christmas. My daughter was 2 months old and he
Okay.
asked me to leave my oldest child so that I can bring his daughter to his family. Um, Hi, okay, I would like to introduce someone else. I'm on live, so don't turn. You can turn the fan off. Everyone, this is my youngest seed. You just heard me mention. Please come closer. Come closer. Everyone, this is my son.
What
And
up? What
stuff. Say hi. And
up?
stuff. Say hi. He said hi.
All right. Yep.
He
So
doesn't do good. Yeah, he don't do
so
good
let's
with
get
that.
back to this. As we try, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to look at the situation to see what part did you play in this, and how much accountability do you take in this situation?
Well,
Now,
I'm
what
gonna
about
say it
him?
this way.
We've heard about his part where he fucked up.
Now,
But
where did I fuck up at?
where did you
Oh,
drop the
I'm
ball at?
so.
Because it takes two in a relationship. I noticed it takes two people in a relationship because
Oh, it does.
sometimes a woman can drive a man to drink if you just constantly talking at him and not talking to him, not praying with him, not helping him get the therapy. Maybe he felt he wasn't getting enough attention, enough love, enough affection. If he wasn't feeling properly loved, that probably just triggered it more to make him indulge more into it. So I'm trying to figure out what
What
could
did
you
I
have done?
do?
What could you have done to make it even worse? Or what did you do to try to make it better? Because
So,
you don't stay 24 years in a situation in misery, especially not
and
a woman, not
exactly.
no strong-willed woman, a woman that prays, a woman that's built on principles, a woman with standards is not going to tolerate a motherfucker for 24 years that can't get it right. So what part did you play in it?
So, with that, my first off, I feel like I'm remiss to tell y'all. My older cousin is a minister.
Right.
Before my brother passed, my brother was also an alcohol counselor
Okay.
and some. So, knowing the tools and the arsenal that I had within my own family dynamic, I
Mhm.
turned to the men that I trusted. And
Okay.
I did sit down with him and stuff. We did pray together. My older cousin called us literally 3 times a week. He would check in with us Monday after school just to see how we were doing. He would take me away, and then on the weekend, we would do, you know what I'm saying, before he would get online. We even would get online in the inception of Facebook, like around '09 or whatnot. We got into getting into these prayer phone things with my cousin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The problem was, and I didn't catch it fast enough, that there were lies being told, and I didn't see them. When I say I didn't see them,
Okay. We talking in codes. What were the lies?
okay, so I'm in the bathroom. I go to change something in the bathroom. I look under there, and I find hidden liquor bottles. But you just said you haven't drank in 2 weeks.
Right. Right.
So now we got, hey, what's going on? Did something happen? Did something change at work? Did this go on? You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
Do,
Yep.
like at first he would, we were able to kind of navigate getting to what's going on or something happened, but then I'm realizing it's more lies and whatnot. Like You telling me, okay, one of the best examples I got, we had arranged to do we were supposed to go to I'm not sure if y'all familiar with this place. It's called Crossroads.
I'm
It's a
familiar with Crossroads in
non-denomination.
Cincinnati. In Cincinnati,
Yes,
down here in Oakley.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly the one we went to.
Okay.
So okay, so they used to have like these relationship uh little sessions, councils. You know what I'm saying? And it originally started. We would take the kids up there because they had a whole bunch of programs. And while they were doing their kid programs, me and him would go do these like relationship classes and be able to talk.
Right.
Okay, we went the first couple times. You know what I'm saying, and stuff. It was more information. They give us information on how we can work these tools at home, how we can work this program at home.
Right.
At home, and we sit down. Like you got to put work into it. You gotta try. You gotta set time aside. You know what I'm saying, to take care of this. Instead, we'll sit down like with our notebooks. Hey, you ready? Oh, wait a minute. I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. He'll go in the bathroom and be in that mother 40 minutes. And I'm like, okay,
So it seemed
okay,
to me,
hey,
he was running away from trying to
from
do
the to
from
get the help.
implementing, yeah, from implementing the said plan that y'all had put forth. He ran from the plan. Like it's like
And not
it's like
only
it's like
running,
being on a diet and trying to get your life together. You know you got to eat right, but you keep
you want to sneak
going to
hostess
McDonald's.
cupcakes.
You keep sneaking shit. So it seems to me he ran away from a lot of the problems, and right then and there, I would have kicked his ass the fuck out.
And I did. And
But
I
then he
did.
ended up back because this is a 24-year span. 24 years. That's a
So he ended up, and I can tell you how he ended up coming back too. He didn't actually end up coming back as far as living around my house
right.
until I ended up, at this point, we were moving. How he ended up at the house is when I moved from one area. Once I were able to find a house, not an apartment, another a house.
Right.
So I was calling him to come and retrieve some of the belongings that he still had in my garage, in my storage unit, bikes, shit like that.
I wouldn't even done that shit. Like
And
that's what I'm
see, I
saying. It's
had to. I didn't have a choice because, for one, the stuff that was in there was So he worked at a job, and this is how I found out how he lost that one of the jobs he had. He worked at a job where he was literally a contractor machinist. He worked on a machine called an Angel. They had a certification which was state endorsed or whatever, and so this is literally how I ended up putting him out from that place where we were at. I found the paperwork. I congratulated him. Hey, I didn't know you passed this. This is great. You know, you could do other things with this. We started
yeah.
looking. In the within the same time span, like okay, example, maybe I found the paper on a Monday. We'll say
Right.
by Tuesday morning, I am getting a call from legit dude, the head of the company that wants to tell me he's a great worker when he comes to work sober. Wait a minute, what? I'm taking this man up in blue ass like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I have to get up out of my sleep to take him to work before I can come home and get my kids ready for school. Okay?
Yeah.
Just to find out that I drop you off at work for you to go to the closest shell and stand over there and drink 2 or 3 bottles of beer or Thunderbird or wine or whatever the hell. And now you go back over here to this job and the man's calling me. They love you to death. They just can't keep you on. They love you to death, but you know, if you're not, and then come to find out that they was willing to put your ass in a 30-day program
Well, it seems
at
like to
the
me
cost of the company.
he didn't want the help because
He
I heard
didn't.
all the
That's how he got.
I
That's
heard
how
all
he
the
got
stuff.
put out.
I heard all the stuff you mentioned about the church and all these programs, all these notebooks y'all had, all these notes y'all took down, these plans he was supposed to implement. But what I didn't hear was professional therapy. therapy,
Oh,
AA.
because when I took him to therapy. Actually, I didn't take him. He had got a drunken disorderly in Indiana on Mother's Day. While I'm sitting there waiting on him at home, he ends up locked up in Indiana, and you can Google why. At the end of the day, when he came back, that's when the hard conversations had to come that I mentioned earlier. Look, bro, you don't want to do better. And I got these kids and they don't deserve to keep seeing you drunk. The best you want to do is go freestyle for hours. That's not fair to them. Like, this is a real conversation that we had. At
What you
which
mean
point,
freestyle for hours?
oh, I didn't mention that part. Yeah, so instead of being a man, a father, a parent, or any of that type shit,
Mhm.
he would rather go sit in a space and find YouTube beats and mumble rap for hours and hours upon hours. And just hold on. Am I lying? Not at all. So, with that being said, no, not at all. And stuff.
So
And I mean,
instead of implementing this note, this plan y'all had to get him sober, he rather go and sit somewhere else to himself, right? And go and
and
work on
that was his therapy.
work on a rap career.
That,
That's not therapy. That's
no,
not
no,
therapy.
no. You know this. I know this. There are literally ants that have not been born in the world yet that know this. My point being, he thought this was a thing. And when you try to tell him, no, this is not conducive to anything, it turns
Right.
into an argument because he's the chosen one and he's no, he's a sigma, and people are jealous of him because of all these things.
He's
Now,
delusional.
here
That's delusional.
again, and like I said, here we go. When you again met this man young, thought this literally. I wish I could have seen certain signs ahead of time.
Right.
I may have saved myself. But seeing them late, kids already involved, my life is already connected. Like, it took me hell to go through just getting him off of my, like, he was on the kids next to kin call list. You
Man.
know,
Yeah.
now they're each other's next to kin. If something happens, they can their paperwork says call me or each other. Like, that's the
So
word.
let me ask you this. Give me a minute. Let me ask you this. Do you feel
Okay.
like he overstayed his welcome? And how does it make you feel that you lost 24 years trying to pour into somebody, trying to love somebody, trying to help somebody? I mean, you got to think about
Just for them to still
the,
be the
the
same
yeah,
fuck up.
yeah, for the time lost, right? Time lost, years lost, stress added, money lost, trauma to, like, believe it or not, your children might have been traumatized by that.
They have been, and I can
Seeing
see
all
that
that,
now.
like
Yeah,
seeing that all that occurred, like the trauma that the kids endured. It was probably trauma on them seeing a mother stress. It's probably trauma on them because, believe it or not, children develop a love and a care for said stepdad or said father figure that's in the household. So kids are concerned about him as well. You know what I'm saying? So
hmm
what does that look like for you? Like, how does that make you feel knowing all that occurred and knowing all the time lost, the time wasted? How does that make you feel when you think about all that?
If I'm being honest, like shit, because independently watching my kids and the struggle that they have had dealing with certain situations and navigating parts of their life, and I can see the effects that relationship had on them.
Uh-huh.
Um, so the thug in me wants to beat his ass, but before I
Uh-huh.
can beat his ass, I have to beat my own because again, I've seen shit,
Right.
and I'm like, well, maybe he'll change. His daughter's looking at him. He's gonna change. He's got to
Yep.
see.
Yep.
And because of that, it caused my kids to make different decisions about relationships and going forward and how they view certain things.
You know what? I'm glad you said what you said. I'm glad you just said what you said because that's accountability. You
Yeah,
said before I whoop his ass, I would have to whoop my own ass for sitting up there tolerating that. What you did was tolerated that. You
and I
tolerated a
did
situation that should have never went that far. You get what I'm saying?
because I wanted. I tried to, and this is where, like I said, as a woman, this is where I failed trying to maintain that dream for them. Like I said, I mean, I'm not the only woman in the world that has written the dad, love mom and dad on a birthday card or a Christmas gift or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But where the problem comes is when, okay, you do it once, fine, but you can't be bothered to not like you put forth no effort where it comes to your kids. And now I'm not only taking care of everything with the kids, but I'm taking care of everything with you. And like in my situation, I had agent parents, stuff, parents getting sick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he tried. At one point, there was a thing of him trying to, well, you're always at the nursing home with your dad, or you're always like, where he tried to push it on me. But the reality of it was, you knew, knowing what I had to deal with and knowing what part you had, all you had, like what you had to do. Like, the man couldn't maintain a job because he always was either drunk or trying to screw one of the females and then blaming them. As I stated, as far as what happened with the, you had asked a question. I'm trying to recall exactly what you had said, but the question had to do with, you laughed.
I asked you,
Oh,
I asked you how does all this make you feel? You told me it makes you feel like shit, and it makes you want to whoop his ass, but you got to whoop your own
I
ass
have to
first.
whip my own.
Yeah,
And
but
like I said,
I wouldn't call myself a failure either. Don't call yourself a failure. What it
no,
was
I
is that
don't.
what it was, you're human, right? You're human. You were being loyal to his potential while while
That is,
he was abusing your reality because you were being loyal to the potential of what he could be. You understand?
I do. I actually do. Yeah.
Yep. And it was a lot of emotional manipulation going on there. Um, he didn't change because what he did was performed as if he would change. That was all a performance. That was all an act. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
And when somebody, when let me see, real change doesn't deserve a second chance to prove itself. You know what I'm trying to tell you? Real
No,
change
it
doesn't
doesn't.
deserve a second chance to prove itself because action speaks louder than words.
That do. There you go.
Not empty promises. There was a bunch of
Say
empty
it a little
promises,
louder for the people in the back.
a bunch of betrayal. I mean, I'm being real with you.
I
He was
am
loyal.
too.
He was loyal to the wrong person. And it's sad because you look at your life. How old are you now? You don't have to really tell me. Just tell me like the range.
North of 49.
So you look at that. That's 24 years. You could have been into a career, retired by now with benefits, in a better position. Not saying that not saying you're in a bad position now, but
And
I'm saying
happy.
in a
You know
better
what I'm
position
saying?
because when you look at it, you spending time with a boy, with a man that was trapped in a boy's body. A real man is going to want to step up and do what he has to do to be the best version of
Therapy.
himself at all times, especially when you have a daughter.
Mm. Mm.
That's when you go harder. I mean, I know you go hard regardless of the kid's son or daughter, but when you have a daughter, that's when you got to lock in
You
and say, I have to be here to protect. I have to protect my child, my daughter at all costs. I can't allow my daughter to see me vulnerable. I can't allow my daughter to see me weak. My daughter has to know that she is safe at all times. And what he didn't do was give her that provision that she felt safe, because seeing him in that state of not being sober, inebriated, that made her feel unsafe.
yeah.
It made her feel unsafe. How the fuck you gonna protect me as my father if you inebriated?
And I mean, not just her. You had asked me a emotional therapy. I actually have a funny story about that.
Uh-huh.
Um, so a couple years ago, I moved to where I live at now,
Right.
and so one of the things, I had to sit outside a lot because there's no real smoking. We can't smoke in the building.
Right.
So I was sitting outside in the car, and he came over one day, and we were sitting outside talking,
Mm-hmm.
and This was actually the last time I had a real. I attempted to have this conversation with the man. His reaction was so, and I'm sorry because I actually have the reaction on this. I recorded that because I couldn't believe it myself. What was told to me as why he did not want to attend therapy because if it was a guy, he was automatically gonna side with me because he's only trying to fuck me. And if it's a female therapist, he can't guarantee me that he wouldn't just fuck her to get her on his side.
What
And
in
he
the
said that to me.
this this guy seems like a deranged individual.
It's on here. I'm not joking.
You recorded it?
Well, we were having hard conversations, and the deal was I was going to record it. So if it went awry, we could at least listen to see where it went off the rails.
You gave him far too many chances, far too many opportunities to prove himself to be the asshole that he really is.
At this point, I'm planning on doing a stand up just because there's no way in hell. And you know what? And just to show you, I'm a real one. I would invite him to the show to dispute anything that I have said.
I would love to have him sit down and talk to me. I would love for him to come up here and hit the family. I would love it.
Only if you can provide a link to the Pauline Ward Lewis Center.
No, no,
but
seriously, can you get him? Can you get him on my show?
I could attempt it. I could definitely attempt it.
I would
I don't
love
know
to have him on
how.
here. I would love to speak with him. I would love to pour into him. Like seriously, some real shit. Like I would love to see what in his mind would say, "Oh, I don't want no professional therapy because the guy is only going to side with you because he's trying to fuck you." Number one, that's not true because professionals, and we in that kind of line of work, 90% of the time they stand professional. They know what the assignment is. Number
Yeah,
two, number two, a female is not gonna let your drunk ass fuck on her. A female in that professional setting, you gonna end up somewhere in jail for an assault. You feel me?
that part.
So,
That part.
so dude
that
is is
part.
dude is I don't know, manipulative. I don't know, just delusional. Like he got to slow down on the bruise. And
I mean, you gotta look at it.
he gotta stop looking at the content he watching on YouTube.
Well, he is the chosen one. That's what he calls himself.
I did a video about the
So,
chosen ones. See,
did
folks,
you?
that whole philosophy is they try to they victimize they play victims a lot. They play the victims to justify why they going through what they go through. They never take accountability for the shit that they cause. A lot of the shit they go through is the shit that they caused, the chaos that they created. Then look to everybody else to say, "Oh, you're only coming down on me because I'm the chosen one. Oh, this is only
Right.
happening to me because I'm the chosen one."
Wait,
Bullshit.
you sure you haven't talked to him already? Because I swear that's verbatim. That's
Nah,
exactly what he
I would
says.
love to speak. I know. Look, I know these type of dudes. I can see them a mile away, and I would break him. I would break his ass. Like seriously, like it seemed like he ain't never really had a real man that really gave him the tools that he need to um be the
And you
best
know
version.
what? You might be right because so before my daughter was born, when my dad was still alive, my dad and my brother, honestly, we were all sitting around in the room. We were watching football. Who they? Bengals fan.
Right.
Uh, we were all sitting around, and he was there. So my dad was trying to fill him out. You know how fathers are. He
Yeah.
wanted to talk to him, get to know him. What's up with you? Tell him, spill your tea. My brother kind of looked at my dad, looked at me. He gets up and he says, "Hey man, I'm going out on the porch to drink this beer. You want to come?" When I tell you, in the middle of the sentence, my dad was talking to him. My dad was in the middle of a sentence and he was saying to me, he was like, "Well, Jackie, sometimes you got to let a man be a man." And so at that point, He walked out the room. So that's all he heard. Okay, that he heard that part.
Yeah.
My dad looked at the door when he walked out. He looked at me. He said, "And this is the idiot you wanna?" I said, "Well, Dad, I mean, Barry did ask him to come drink a beer, like, you know." He said that was a test. I kind of looked like I felt like it was because I know how my family was, but
Yeah.
like, well, why y'all gonna test him? You know, you gonna fail. You know what I'm saying? He could
Right.
drink. He drinks. So, but my dad, the end of that sentence was until that man shows you he can't. So for years, I've had listened to, and he gets mad because, like I said, my father is now deceased, and I do get very animated when it comes about my dad. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
tread lightly about what you say about my father.
Right.
You know what I mean? So with that being said, the statement that he made to me was, "Well, your dad did tell you gotta let a man be a man." And I've always tried to tell him, yeah, but you missed the end of that because you ran out to chase my brother about a beer.
Yeah.
So the end of that is until he shows you that I didn't hear that part, so he didn't say it. You're gonna sit here and argue with me about something that my father has been telling me since I was fucking, I don't know. First time I ever had to smack a boy for trying to look up my dress. I was about 9.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: how old is he? The guy we talking about?
He's younger than I am, about 6 years.
44,
45.
45. He ain't gonna change.
No, no. There we go. And that's
He
what it is.
he's set in his ways. He's set in his
And
ways.
he
So
is.
now, with this being said, right, right,
Mhm.
you got to heal from all that now. You know what I'm saying? Like what I've come to understand, we all want to believe that people can evolve, right? People can change, but giving grace to somebody don't mean give them access to you. You feel me? If somebody
Indeed.
burns you, that's on them. But if they continue to do it, that becomes a you
That's
issue.
on you. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's wild because what he showed you was that he's comfortable with hurting you. He was comfortable with hurting you, knowing that you will stay, knowing that you will still be there. He got comfortable. And that's not love, that's lightweight control, Jackie.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Oh,
lightweight
trust
control.
me.
And you
Believe me. It
gotta
took
know
me a
that
while.
you were worth more than being someone's um basically you was being his emotional punching bag.
And the sad, what's so funny for you to say that? Because once I was comfortable enough to realize, again, I have to take the accountability in this situation because recognizing things, it took a lot for me to say, you know what, I can't. And oddly enough, the shit that actually got me to the point of, you know what, I just can't do this.
Yeah.
I don't, I can't. I can't entertain talking to you, dealing with you, being around you. Don't come around my house. Stay away from me. Your daughter
Right.
grown. You want to talk to her, call her. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? Like literally, I hadn't talked to that man since December, up
Right.
until maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And which, like I said, this is where you find out a lot of backdooring because as much as my daughter swears she can't stand the man, I did not realize that that's how he found out about my mom. I didn't tell him that.
Right.
My daughter told him because I guess she basically was going off on him about something, and in the midst of her yelling at him and stuff, and she just said and stuff, and if you really cared about me and stuff, you would at least checked on me to see how I'm feeling about my grandma, but you're too busy being a drunk. And I only know that because when he called, tried to get in touch with me, he was blocked from my phone. He couldn't call, and I just happened to be blocking a spam call, and you know how it goes into a different folder. So when I went in there, it was like 15 different text messages from him. in my block folder, and I was bored and stuff. Beyond the
So,
Gates
so
wasn't
let me ask.
on, so
Yeah,
I
let me
read
ask you
those.
this: what is the end game of all this? What is the purpose of him keep spinning the block trying to re-enter? What is the
I
end game?
don't know.
What is your end game
Personally,
in all this? What is your end game? Because we already
as
know he
far
overstayed
as
his welcome.
yeah, as far as he goes, he is my past. He is not my future. He is not my present. Um, like
But
I
he was
said,
there
we have to.
today.
No, 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 no. Like I said, I literally
Uh huh.
was on the way going to take care of something,
Yeah.
and and again, I picked him up. That was entertainment. I ain't gonna hold you. That was kind of like way entertainment for me and stuff. But it was also a very poorly spent 30 minutes. That's one of those. I could have had a V8. But no, I literally just entertained. Okay, what is it? And I'm not gonna hold you. Originally, because my mother's a very energy spiritual person.
Yeah.
So if I get a call from four, it's like Texas, 4 something in the morning. Good morning, baby girl. How are you doing today? Hey, have you talked to Anthony? He was on my mind. Oh crap!
Yep.
What?
So that. Yep. I I
And
I I
then
I
okay,
noticed what
say
you
it.
I noticed what you just said. But
Okay.
when that happens, right? So his name Anthony. So when so when I get it because that's like if you know somebody that's in tune with the spiritual side, and then they call and ask about somebody that might be having some trouble, or just ask about somebody in general. That's gonna make you say, "Let me reach out," because if something happened and I didn't reach out, I'm gonna feel horrible.
Horrible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And the sad reality of it is, I didn't get that opportunity to reach out. So here we go. I fielded the message from my mom. Like I said, it was early in the morning. I fielded the message. So good morning, mom. No, I haven't. Do you want me to send you his number? But by that time, she was dealing with the nurses and everything.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I kind of nodded back off, whatever, and stuff, because I had a pickup. So what actually woke me up to get up to get ready for the pickup was a phone call from a text now number.
Uh
I
huh.
didn't know. It's Saturday. It's Saturday morning. I'm not gonna hold you. I actually thought it was the Walmart people because on my phone a text now number will come up spam likely, but it was a 513 number. So I did. I thought it was Walmart with the little "Hi, your Walmart order is ready for pickup." You know what I mean? I didn't know. I am hello, all groggy and crap. And what's up? I looked at the phone like put like in my head. It's like gotta be shitting me. I didn't even send her the number. Why? You know what I'm saying? But again, he was blocked. So you
Yeah.
can't call my phone if you're blocked.
You
But
know what?
you
I
can
always thought.
download.
You know what? Well, my hey man, I did try to call people from Text Now and all those other little apps when I was blocked by a female, and I still couldn't get through because I guess the number was connected. So I know it's probably different now. I don't know how he got through, but that's wild.
Because I'm with Boost and we have and that Wi-Fi calling I think negates that. I'm
Okay.
not sure because my cousin can do it too. My cousin, which he's not blocked or anything, his phone's just off, but he can call. He has a text now number right now, but I
Okay.
saved his number so I know it's him when he calls. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But this one, I saved that one too now, and it says "Don't answer part two." And it is now blocked. But and I did that literally after the fact, like after I talked to him and seen him, and I thought he was, well, I want to go and I want to see my daughter, and I want to, I just want to sit down and have a conversation. Look, you get around any and everywhere you want to go, right? All right, if you want to see your daughter or talk to my son, or any of that shit, their phones work, they
Hmm.
pay their bills, you have their numbers.
Yeah.
You don't need to call me for them because I'm not
Okay.
ever going to call you for them.
Okay.
You know,
So now, where do you go from here when say this happened again, mom? ask you, have you talked to so and so? Do you
Oh no, she
are you
has
gonna
his
feel
number
obliged to
now.
reach out? Okay. And let me ask you
No,
this: What happens? Is your kids around still?
unfortunately, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna ask you a question, but I hope they don't get offended by what I'm gonna say. If they can't hear me,
Oh, yeah, probably. No, not at all.
okay. Because a lot of us we reach out to the ex, or we reach out to that person that's been involved when we get horny.
Mm-mm.
So you better not reach out. You got to be
Oh
careful.
no. My ladies out here understand when they say that I have a garden tool.
Oh,
I love my flower.
all right,
I love my flower. We'll just leave it at that. I love my flower.
all
We
right.
are
And then,
friends.
all right.
We
And
are so much friends.
what happens? What happens at the pop when the pop up occurs?
Oh, I live in a security building, baby. Ain't no pops up.
Ain't
And
no pop.
I just found out something, and I only found this out because my daughter said some goofy shit, and I looked. He said, "No, you can put certain people on do not call, do not respond, answer for the door." I said, "Nah." She said, "Cause I guess it was one of her little friends she ain't cool with no more. She wanted to block them from ringing the doorbell."
Yeah.
Hey, I've been here 2 years. I didn't even know that was a thing. I had no knowledge of that. But I looked, and she's right. There is a whole, it's a vacation, it's a whole do not disturb, all
Right.
of that. So, yeah, there's no, and then that's the beauty of that, too. Somebody rings the bell. Literally, everybody that has the app that's attached to the house can look and see. And it'll tell one of us if you open that door. Because
Yeah.
it'll say call answered on another device, door opened on another device. It
No,
won't tell us which device.
matter of fact, I've kind of contradicted myself.
Hmm.
That I asked you to reach out to him to get him on my show.
Yeah, I thought about that too. And stuff. But you know what though? It's in that respect, that is something I could actually, cause, and I'm gonna be honest, cause he's tried to get me to revisit the whole, well, I want to come on talk on the show. We could talk about relationships and this. And if you go back and look at one of my other videos where I attempted to have a conversation with him on there, I don't know if you see how it went, but I got absolutely frustrated with it. And you could actually see through the course of that little, I think maybe 40 minutes long, you can see through the course of that where I go from I'm very enthusiastic to give this a shot to oh my God, how quickly can this shit be over with?
Yeah, I wanna have him on. I wish you could get him on next weekend.
I can, like I said, I can reach out and inform him. I'm gonna take the link from this show to kind of give it a send it. I'll make an excerpt off of it and just send him a snippet to kind of give him an idea. So if you actually want to do an actual invite, that'll be the part that I'll screen record and see. Okay, yeah. Hold on. Let me grab my. I need the other eyes. Where did the other eyes go?
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
I want to extend the I would like to
Hold
extend
on.
the invite.
All right, I'm gonna pull up my screen recorder,
Okay.
and from there we're going to. I'm going. All right. Okay. Uh, three, two, one, go.
Yeah, I would love to have him on the show. You are invited to come on the show and we can talk about relationships, whatever it is you want to discuss, get whatever it is off your chest. I want to hear your side of situations. I want to try to help. But please accept my invite to come on the show next Saturday. You can have the floor. I'll let you vent. I'll let you talk, cook, and we can politic or whatever it is you want to do. But the invite is there. Let me know if you're ready to come on, and I'll send you the link.
All right. Got it.
Yep. So yeah, make sure you reach out and just for that reason, but not nothing else, not to argue, because I ain't gonna tolerate that shit on this show. Like ain't gonna be no talking over, ain't gonna be no rambling on and on and on. I can't let that go on. But I would love to hear from his side of things and kind of pour into the brother. And he should really seek some therapy before it's too late.
All right. Yeah. And like I said, and stuff, trying certain things. I don't know, man. Like we even try. I don't know, man. Sometimes it just gets to that you don't know what else to do.
Yeah, but let me
You
ask you this:
feel me? Like
have you gone to therapy?
personally, yes. He used to tease me about it.
Yeah, but are you in continuous therapy?
Right now I do telehealth, which
Good.
works for me only because that's about 30 minutes sitting still is about as much availability as I got considering
Right.
everything I got going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do try to check in and keep myself with everything going on. I don't have much of a choice. Not to mention, I pray. Hit my fan, please. Large amounts. Like there's a lot of shit that's going on right now that requires not just prayer, but I have to give myself grace because I am older. And again, I can't fault myself for things I did not know. Like I said, realizing within the last 3 to 4 years, okay, a toxic situation pretty much has hindered my one. Like I said, one daughter has a inability to have a successful relationship.
Hmm.
Um, my son has this. He well, considering his sign, he's got this real. Uh, like he's got to be the like. I gotta do this. I gotta be this person. I gotta like. He feels like he has to be more than his father and more than the males that were around him and better than. And it drives him in a good way, but if left unchecked, I worry. You know what I'm saying? That he could deviate real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
just real fast. Like not saying that he will or anything like that, but then again, hell, I've been wrong before. I can admit that. Like um, for myself, staying too long makes has it's broadened my spectrum of trust. Like my trust level is probably really depleted. My social radar is almost practically gone.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think you find yourself in another relationship?
ooh. At this point, I don't know if I want a relationship. Like the ideology of marriage and all that shit. Mm, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. At this point, if the motherfucker had a great personality and a RV, I'd probably take off. Like you say, we can. Yeah, I'm out. Like I don't know. Like there's a part of me that's like just get up and do shit, but I've never been a throw caution to the wind type person, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's one aspect of me that's like, oh my god, pack shit in your car, pack your car, let the kids have the apartment and just take off. Your check goes onto your card, literally have your check go to another card or whatever and just go. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This shit don't look back. But
Yep.
there's the part of me that's like, I can't leave my mom, I can't leave my grandson, I can't leave my kids.
Yep.
That's the part that's the part that tears me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because companionship. That's about the only thing that I would probably want. I
Yep.
want to go to the show. I want somebody that wants to, go hang out and go to the show. Or, I like to go down to the river and sit down there and chill out and do stuff down there. Or, I'm
Yeah.
kind of pissed and bummed that my legs have been giving me grief here in the last few weeks because it kind of limits me going to do like walking and shit like that. Cause it's very
Right.
hard to be walking around and shit a little waterfront or something like that, and your knee lock up, and the next thing you know, you're in the gray green water of Ohio River. Ill, ill,
Well, let me tell
ill.
you this. I'm gonna leave you with something I want you to take with you. All right. I want you to first and
Alrighty.
foremost forgive yourself. Right? Have you forgiven yourself?
It's a daily process.
Yep.
I struggle with that.
So what you got to do is truly forgive yourself, right? But this time I want you to shut that door for good on him. You know,
Well,
don't
after
think,
y'all.
let me tell you something. No, I don't want you to say you made a mistake with him. What you did was make bad decisions. So I want you to own that, learn from it, and move smarter when it comes to him. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste your time or energy beating yourself up. Use that energy to rebuild your self-worth, your peace, and your standards, right? And just because you let him in doesn't mean that you have to let him stay.
That
I want you to remember that. That's what I want you to take with you tonight. And just sit on that for a while. Sit in that for a while. And just remember that your peace is more important than somebody's potential. Close your door and lock it behind you.
Oh, wait a minute. And then take this beautiful Houday key, if y'all could see that, and
Yep.
throw it to people. Hey, and I want to say,
I'm being so
I'm
serious.
being,
Okay. I'm really being serious because there was a lot. This was a lot to really listen to today. Like, damn, I want to talk to him though. And I really want to
I,
get
I, yeah, and stuff. I would love, and the sad part is, I'd like to have a conversation too. But when it all comes back to you were older and you, uh, I've never been blamed for being older. Like I think I've asked you this in just personal conversation. Like I'm older. What exactly does that mean to you? Like if I'm your girlfriend or your baby mama or whatever, I'm not your parent. I wasn't put here to raise you.
right.
Like so me being older shouldn't have any bearers. If I'm older, that means maybe I got a little bit more going on upstairs. Listen to what I'm trying to bring to the table.
Right.
You know. And if your thought process starts and stops with your whatever's dangling between your legs, then you ain't thinking about much.
Yeah, be thinking with the wrong head at that point. Well, I'm about to get up off of here and go and get me some rest for tomorrow. But it was nice to have you on the show. But I want to have you back
I
next Saturday
appreciate the
with him.
invite.
I want to have you with
Okay.
him next Saturday if possible. And I have somebody else on the show that we can kind of all talk about this situation.
Okay. And stuff. Well,
Right.
I definitely thank you for the invite, and I appreciate the convo. It was great meeting everybody. And like I said, I'm Kid the Goddess. And it was a wonderful experience. I thank you for this, and we will definitely be putting together next Saturday.
Yes, indeed. Make sure y'all tap the like, get this video a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section. It's your boy Deonte. I'm out of here.
Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Donations can be made to the Cash App. Thank you so much. God bless you. Me and the beat too. Look, yeah. Okay. I pull up you deep on my niggas, consider it's pivotal. Trap through the app, make her clap it, don't cap it, she tapping it fast. I think that you know they be catching it. Standing 6 feet up, casting a shadow on niggas that talk like they bad it. They know that we got it, they talk far from actual. I make the waves so tsunami, I dare you to paddling. The trunk steady rattling. Blowing top tier to keep my thoughts clear. I see the opt in there, I'm on my shot, call it big bar shit. I never know the time, I'm never clocking it. Wildflower, I'm like Denzel, I've been a man on fire, bitch, I'm hot lava. You are not scarred, you are proudly. I'm a real nigga to the coffin seal. Heart chill from all this talking real. Recent life feel like a highlight reel. Currently thumbing through currency, I'm from the avenue, bitch, I'ma get it regardless. I told little baby to slide with that Lotus, pull up with the garden. My guard is down till you come around, trying to hold you some. Give a fuck how you feel, I don't owe you nothing. Now you trying to make amends, I'm just trying to get the fortunes. Trying to cut my mama fortress. Pop might pull up in a Porsche. I used to be quiet, was timid. They used to catch me skipping courses. Now they snap a nigga portrait. Hard head but never forced it. I got a pin it shine like it's supposed to. The way I deliver they pose to. My neck got a compass to know where we going. It sound like I'm stepping through portals. I'm off of that poison the devil be calling, but I just ignore it, hit for it. The task force told me God. Okay, yeah, you asked for it. Wait, the task force told me go. Okay, yeah, you asked for it. Wait, the task force told me go. Look, The way that I ball, I should've played for the Big Ten when I touched stage, but they packed in. Got a pretty thing to make a back bend. Let me see it all through the glass lens. Had some people try to snake if I see you. I'm teed up, I greet you with brass hands. Skate off fast, put a buck on the dash to somewhere vast. With my feet up, wait, hold up the label, just call me the tapping. They just cut the check, so I'm up in the slip. I take for J to the neck, then I stretch to start my day. I hit the cash dance. Niggas is different now. I was down then, but that's all in the past tense. So I can't stop shit till I'm top 10, and I'm not 10. I'm so in love with the process. Not all in the day, but it took them some time to build wrong. I just copped the crib, never home. No, I can't keep a charge on the phone. So she thinks she in love with a ghost. When I'm home, I make sure that she get what she needs, so she know what I'm capable of. Know my rhythm can spar with the pros. They pay me to hear what I'm on, they ask what I'm on. I'm doing great, I suppose, cause I get to do what I want. It's legit, but it sound like it's straight from the stove. They playing my tape in the field and they treat me like I'm making plays in the fourth. Gotta beat bang with a force. I'm a product of staying the course. Yeah, I watch my step on the tightrope. The rate going